Okay, factorize this here. So we've got two terms. So when we've got two terms, we tend to look at both terms to see if there's a common factor, and you can see x is a common factor, yeah? Just back to sort of basic GCSEs, and you can see x goes into both. No numbers go into both. There's 7 there, and of course there's a 1 there. So we just take x out. And then I ask myself, right, what do I times by x to get 7x squared? Of course, that's going to be 7x. And then what do I times by x to get x? Well, you've got to times x by something, haven't you? So times x by 1, of course, and that will give me x. For this part B, again, two terms. You notice x isn't a common factor again. But look at the numbers, 14 and 21. Can you see a common factor there? Of course, 7 goes into both, doesn't it? And x. So 7x, what am I timesing by to get 14x squared? Well, 2, if I times by 2, it gives me 14. But of course, I need to times it by an x as well to get the x squared. So that makes sense there. And then, what do I times by 7x to get 21x? That's just going to be a 3, isn't it? Scale it up by 3 and you get your 21. Now, with the third one, you might be looking at this and thinking, well, I can't see any factors here. But do you remember, GCSE, we looked at the difference of two squares, yeah? So if you think about it, that's a square, isn't it? That's the square of x. This is also a square, isn't it? That's a square number, and that's the square of 7. So when you see this, you need to have two brackets, okay? And, you know, what we squared to get that was x, and what we squared to get that was 7. So you write that in both brackets, but you make one a minus and one a positive, okay? That's the difference of two squares. And if you think about it logically, if I was to multiply this out, right? If I was to multiply this out, the outers and inners terms would cancel, wouldn't they? If you think about it, because the outers would be plus 7x, yeah? The inners would be minus 7x. Okay, so I'd have a plus 7x minus 7x. They would cancel. So I just end up with the first terms, which is x squared, and then, of course, the last terms, which is minus 49. Okay? Difference two squares. With D, you know, we're looking at this, and straight away you're saying, well, 48, that's not a square number, so it can't be that. But if you look at the two terms, I hope you notice that you can see 3 is a common factor. Okay? So I can take 3 out. And if you take 3 out, inside this bracket then, what do I times by 3 to get that? Well, it'll be x squared. What do I times by 3 to get 48? Well, that'll be 16, or minus 16, isn't it? Because it's minus 48. Then, right, don't stop there. Don't stop there, right? This would be worth a couple of marks, probably. Don't stop there, because if you notice inside here now, x squared minus 16, that's the difference. Difference, remember, take away. That's the difference of two squares. You're squaring x here, aren't you? And what are we squaring there? 4, of course. So, two brackets, x and 4 in both brackets, make one a minus, one a plus, and if you were to multiply that out, you'd get x squared minus 16. Okay, so it's just a case there where you get two terms, and it's the way you factorize there. You either find a single factor, or you have difference of two squares.